we'll stroll around for a few weeks. Okay. 35 minutes? 45 minutes. Okay. Rapsy, for you too?
Yeah, I'm going to send you into the back room. Okay? Go into the back room and say Robin sent you. For two? Robin sent you. Many of the jurors announced about the agreement with parts that you saw.
Can you do a blank here?
Yeah, if you want.
You've heard about dingoes. You've heard about dingoes. The dingoes killing the baby. So that just...
Where are you going now? Okay, great.
Guilty or not guilty? Talk to Robin right here.
45 minutes to an hour. Okay, sure, have a seat. What do you think? Guilty or not? What do you think?
What do you think?
Guilty or not guilty?
Simpson's mother, they were greeted at the metal detector by lead Simpson attorney Johnny Simpson. And the jury called back.
Yeah, they said Dingoes did it, but they think they did do it, right? Or something like that. They're fixing the chairs. Wasn't that the case?
I think actually none of them know.
Sad OJ or a happy OJ?
Without the jury learning why he didn't complete his cross-examination.
We won't find out.
Go and take that home to Australia.
We now have about 4 minutes left.
And let me set a scene for you, Tom. This is a hot, oppressive sort of morning in Los Angeles. There are probably now, if not me most, as if indeed he was. It seems to me like the evidence points to a guilty verdict. It seems to me that the evidence from the standpoint of the country is contrary-wise that we've got a jury.
So we'll enter the courtroom and will then, at that moment, have given the signal for the television coverage to begin. The jury will file in. We believe that the verdict will be read by a court reporter, and the court reporter will ask the jury foreman, well, that the jurors will be polled individually. There is no chance that they could have changed. And we've seen these comments before. One of them may say, if they are polled individually, now I have some second thoughts. And another report will develop. That seems to be a remote camera that is controlled by someone representing all of those of us who are showing you the pictures in the courtroom. It has been unplugged from time to time by Judge Lancito. Most recently, just last week, when we thought it was too close to the notes that O.J. Simpson was keeping, and that would be a violation.
All right, back on the record in the Simpson matter. Mr. Simpson is again present before the court with his counsel, Mr. Shapiro, Mr. Cochran, Mr. Kardashian, Mr. Bailey, Mr. Glazier. People represented by Ms. Clark, Mr. Darden, and Mr. Hodgman. The jury is not present. Good morning, counsel. All right, the record should reflect that earlier this morning at 9 o'clock, the court met informally with counsel here in the courtroom, because there are too many lawyers to go into chambers this morning, for the purposes of discussing notifications to the jurors regarding their rights of privacy and the interest of the news media to interview them or speak to them following the delivery of the verdict in court here today. The court distributed to the parties copies of the questionnaire that has been distributed to the jurors, and also the notice to them regarding confidentiality under 237 of the Code of Civil Procedure. And those two questionnaires have been returned by the jurors. They have uniformly indication of the trial and not to speak with the news media either. All right, counsel, is there anything else we need to take up before I invite the jurors to join us? All right, Deputy Charles, tell the jurors, please.
You could be sort of sitting by the sea and cuddling your feet. They're sitting here.
Has never been beaten by the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office.
And the record should reflect that we have now been rejoined by all the members of our jury panel and our alternates. Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Mrs. Robertson, would you, do you have the envelope with the sealed verdict form, please?
The envelope,
All right, would you give those to Deputy Trower?
it's hermetically sealed.
And would you return those to our four-person juror number one? All right, Madam Foreperson, would you please open the envelope and check the condition of the verdict forms?
Don't worry, I'll just vote. It's all right. It'd be a riot.
All right, Madam Foreperson, you've had the opportunity to review the verdict forms. Are they the same forms that you signed, and are they in order? All right, would you hand those please to Deputy Trevor? And you have signed and dated those verdict forms indicating the jury's verdict. All right, thank you.
Just praying.
Yeah. Prayer, wasn't it? Pray.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and the jury, I'm going to ask that you carefully listen to the verdicts as they are being read by the clerk, Mrs. Robertson. As after the verdicts have been read, you will be asked if these are your verdicts. And I would caution the audience during the course of the reading of these verdicts to remain calm, and that if there is any disruption during the reading of the verdicts, the bailiffs will have the obligation to remove any persons disrupting these proceedings. All right, Mrs. Robertson. All right, Mr. Simpson, would you please stand and face the jury? Mrs. Robertson.
Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles, in the matter of the people of the state of California versus Orenthal James Simpson, case number BA097211. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon Nicole Brown Simpson, a human being, as charged in count 1 of the information. Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles, in the matter of the people of the State of California versus Orenthal James Simpson. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon Ronald Lyle Goldman, a human being, as charged in count 2 of the information. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, further find the special circumstance that the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, has in this case been convicted of at least one crime of murder of the first degree and one or more crimes of murder of the first or second degree to be not true. signed this second day of October 1995, Juror 230. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this your verdict? So say you one, so say you all.
Say no.
All right, counsel, Mr. Simpson, would you be seated, please? Just have it quiet in the courtroom, please. All right, Mrs. Robertson, would you please poll the jurors?
Juror number 1, as to count 1, is this your verdict?
You just got away with murder.
Juror number 2, as to count 1, is this your verdict? Juror number 3, as to count 1, is this your verdict? Juror number 4, as to count 1, is this your verdict? Juror number 5, as to count 1, is this your verdict? Juror number 6, as to count 1, is this your verdict? Juror number 7, as to count 1, is this your verdict? Juror number 8, as to count 1, is this your verdict? Juror number 9, as to count 1, is this your verdict? Juror number 10, as to count 1, is this your verdict? Juror number 11, as to count 1, is this your verdict? Juror number 12, as to count 1, is this your verdict? Count 2. Juror number 1 is to count 2, is this your verdict? Juror number 2 is to count 2, is this your verdict? Juror number 3 as to count 2, is this your verdict? Juror number 4 as to count 2, is this your verdict? Juror number 5 is to count 2, is this your verdict? Juror number 6 is to count 2, is this your verdict? Juror number 7 as to count 2, is this your verdict? Juror number 8 as to count 2, is this your verdict? Juror number 9 as to count 2, is this your verdict? Juror number 10 as to count 2, is this your verdict? Juror number 11 as to count 2, is this your verdict? Juror number 12 as to count 2, is this your verdict?
All right, the clerk is directed to record the verdicts as read. The parties agree to waive reading of the verdicts as recorded. Mr. Cochran, do you waive reading of the verdicts as recorded? Ms. Clerk, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to at this time take this opportunity to publicly thank. I will have an opportunity to meet with you privately later, and I'll give you my private comments when we have a chance to meet. I want to caution you at this time that there is, as you know, intense media interest in this case. The news media will probably seek you out at your home or at your place of business. And I would implore that the news media act responsibly to avoid harassing you or identifying you without your consent,
And afterwards, I will part the Red Sea.
or otherwise causing you concern. Whether you wish to cooperate with the news media is, of course, entirely up to you.
So what do you think of the verdict?
The verdict, I think this whole entire case has been a complete travesty of the American judicial system, and I believe that the arguments presented by the defending attorneys were so out of line and had nothing to do with the case that was being presented. 2 people were killed, murdered in cold blood, and they tried to make it a racist and a setup, and it is completely a mockery of the American justice system. And I think that it will lead to, I hope that it will lead to a reevaluation of like what we call the United States judicial system, because it's just completely, it's out of control. There's no way this should have ever ended up this way.
Do you think it was just this case, or do you think it's the whole system?
No, I think that the system allows for a case like this to twist the rules a little bit, just because of the stature of the person in question. Actually, like they were saying earlier, that a double homicide in California is automatically declared, if you're declared guilty, is sentence of death, and that was waived, I believe. I don't know if that's what I believe.
Do you think the jury was out long enough?
No, no. I think that what the jury decided, my own opinion, is that they were there for a year. Enough's enough. Get it done as soon as possible. And I don't really think enough thought was given to the verdict. And I also think that Marcia Clark did a fake job of her final statements. I think Darden did a much better job. He was much more personal, and Marcia Clark was much more contrived and almost acted out. like a soliloquy, I believe.
What do you think about the other side of the other attorneys?
The other side, I think they pulled like every bell and whistle out of the hat that they could possibly come up with, and that is what's most aggravating to me, is turning this trial into not whether or not this person killed these two innocent people, but whether did the Los Angeles Police Department contrive this whole thing and set up someone just because he's black or just because he's famous. It's ridiculous. There's no way that, especially where we live and we're supposed to be considered the most free society and the most justified, that something like this should come to this. No way. No way.
The trial got blurred by a lot of other things that shouldn't have.
Yes, and particularly his status in society, if you want to call him like a status symbol. And if he is a status symbol of the society we live in today, I don't want any part of that.
Do you think race had a big issue to do with it?
I think that if you want to, they tried to play, if you want to call it the race card, which is so easy today to pull up, especially since 1992 and Los Angeles riots and everything like that. But I think they were just grabbing at straws. And I think that, well, obviously it worked to some extent, but it's just wrong. I don't think it had anything to do with race. No, I don't think it had anything to do with race.
Can I have your first and last name and spell it?
Oh, Brian Fitzgerald. B-R-I-A-N Fitzgerald, like the president. Yeah.
Okay, what do you think of the verdict?
I'm very disappointed. I was very
Okay, Bobby. All right. So, what do you think of the verdict?
I'm very disappointed, very surprised.
Why?
Well, I thought for sure, I thought all the evidence points towards that he did it, and I was just very surprised.
And what do you think about the jury? How long about them being on the out?
That surprised me the most, because either way, I think they should have had a lot of time to look over everything. I think either decision should have taken more time.
What do you think of the performance of the lawyers?
I don't have much comment on that.
You don't have any feeling about how they performed?
No, well, for the money they were paid, they sure better have performed pretty well for OJ, I think.
Okay, thanks. Can I have your first and last name and spell it, please?
Jennifer Preston, Jennifer Preston.
You'll be talking to me?
All right.
And so what do you think of the verdict?
Well, I don't think it had anything to do with justice.
What's that?
And why it doesn't have anything to do with justice? Well, it's a circus. The person has a lot of money, he hires the best attorneys, go around and around, and put the police department on trial, put Mark Furman on trial, and so forth. That's a separate issue. You know, who killed them? Who killed these two people? Somebody killed them.
And what do you think about how long the jury was on? Do you think they were on long?
Doesn't sound like they had too much of a discussion. What was the makeup of the jury? Did that have something to do with their final answer?
You don't think they were out long enough to talk about it?
No, I don't think they had too much discussion. They had about enough time to find out what the formalities were and then come back with the verdict.
And the last question is, what do you think about the performance of the lawyers?
Well, they did what they were paid to do, I guess. Somehow I think our justice system has to be changed. This didn't look like it was justice at all. Who puts on the best show comes out with the best verdict? Is that how it works? I don't know.
Can I get your name and spell it?
First name is Lee, L-E-E. Last name is Virag, V-I-R-A-G.
Great. Thanks very much.
Some kind that we don't trust. People don't trust the juries. It doesn't make any difference how good the evidence is. DNA can be evidence that
So, what do you think about the verdict?
I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised.
He is not guilty, and yet
Because I thought he was going to be found guilty.
people who were dealing with that evidence
So what do you think about how long the jury was out deciding?
The question that's really in my mind at this point is why they came back and asked for clarification of the testimony from the limo driver, because that was a prosecution witness. I'm still, right now, I was sitting here trying to figure that out. You know, what was it that they said? That they said, that's it, we've heard enough. They went back and they found him not guilty. So I'm curious to hear the commentary on that.
What do you think about the lawyer's performance?
Decision to those communities. In this case, there were 9 people from black communities and people that had to go home after their parents, their friends, their relatives, their children, their next door neighbors.
That's a difficult question. Yes, it is.
This icon.
I just heard on the news where they said that now the criminal justice system, people will think that you can get a not guilty verdict by how much money you have and how well your attorneys are educated. And I'm afraid that did come through in the trial, not whether it's you're guilty or innocent, but how much money you have, and that's a shame.
All right, thanks. Can I get your name and spelling?
Lori Burek, Loriburek, from Newark, New Jersey.
Great, thanks very much.
Okay, thank you.
So, what do you think about the verdict?
Well, I'm glad it's over. It's been too long on television. It's been too long for the state.
What do you think about how long the jury was out there?
That was the.
So, what do you think of the verdict?
Well, I actually thought that was good.
All right, one more time.
I actually thought it was going to be not guilty because I don't live in Los Angeles, but I've watched enough national news to see that it's not like any part of the rest of the universe. And I don't think that we can predict what those women and those people would do in that jury on the evidence they actually heard.
What do you think about how long they were out?
I think that they obviously have had, a year, 9 months to figure out what they were going to do. And I don't think they had to wait very long afterwards. And they obviously wanted to go home. And I think that's what it came down to.
What do you think of the lawyer's performance?
Well, I'm a lawyer and Dan's a lawyer. And I think that you get the best possible lawyers you can get. And if you happen to be rich, then you may get a better lawyer. It doesn't follow that the best money gets you the best lawyer. You know, that's the system. And I don't mean that's the system in a negative sense. That's the Constitution. That's how it works.
Okay, and can I get your name and spelling?
Susan Drogin, Drogin.
Great.
Don't forget Dan.
Oh, I wasn't there.
Hi.
Excuse me.
Hi.
Could you just get away from the sign so my group can get a picture of the Cheers bar?
We'll be right out of your way. Just take a second.
Sure.
Hi. As Susan indicated, we're attorneys and we're just several doors down at 50 Beacon. So, you know, we're a little more educated in how this whole thing happened. Although I thought it was going to be guilty this morning when I saw the fact that they wouldn't look at O.J. Simpson. And as a consequence, having tried many cases, I felt that that was to his detriment, and also the evidence that they call for. However, you just never know what a jury will do, and that just happens again and again, and only re-emphasizes that theory I've always had until this morning, where I thought this time I knew, and again I didn't. So that's the way it rolls.
Great, and your name is spelled?
Dan Hourihan, Hourihan.
Thanks very much.
Okay.